Hey guys, Chris Maloney here, and today I'm actually reviewing SH Figuarts Trigger Dark. And yeah, I'm going to say this right up front and right now. The figure looks amazing, articulation is not so good. But before I get into more on that, let's go over like paint and all that, paint, sculpt, and all that stuff. And when we look at Trigger's basically first form before he turned into a giant of light. Alright. Now, Trigger Dark has gunmetal gray going all around his body. And some good panel lining here around his like shoulder pads or anything. Or something. Right now it's a little bit late for me, so I'm sorry if this is not the best, but so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it out for you guys. Yeah, I mean, he looks amazing. I mean, especially with the gold around the wrist, and also I'm not sure if you can see it, but also around the ankles too, both of them. A nice black undersuit thing, and also around here where you can also see some more panel line work. And the gold with this actually pops out. I think a little, or the bronze. Yeah, it's more of a bronze than a gold, sorry. Pops out a lot better than Trigger's multi-type gold, at least on the chest. Now, I do like the trigger crystal up here, and also that the time limiter, that they're both saying blue, while the trigger crystal is more clear, at least in some areas. And if you could see with the hang on. The eyes up here have a pretty good black overlook to them with the panel line going down. Oh, there gets into one of my complaints that I'm about to get into. But yeah, this guy looks menacing. He's posable, and he just needs a few upgrades before this can be an actually great figure. And with that in mind, let's go over articulation, which comes into the major gripe about this figure. Okay? And stands Trigger straight and tall. Trigger Dark can look this far up and only this far down. And he could look side to side, and someone lean to side to side, but it's not really that great. Now be careful with the head on this figure, because as you can see, if you turn it two ways, his head will actually pop out. And that's mainly because of the bulkiness of Trigger Dark's suit design. Which, in the show, it was okay. I rather wish they went with Tika Dark with more of a simplistic, but this does look menacing, and he does look evil. Anyway, let's go with arm articulation, which on this side is greatly hindered. So yeah, this arm of Trigger can go only this far up. Arms are double jointed, and you get a little bit of a butterfly swivel, and then you can just move it around. Now, with this side, it's a little bit more forgiving. Somehow. Trigger go this far on this side, and double join it, and then you can move around. And Trigger Dark can move only this far forward with the ab crunch, and this far back. And with legs, this far forward, and it's on both of them, so yeah. And only this far back. Now, if you do like twist it, you're able to get more range, but some of the armor parts actually rub off against each other. And the legs are double jointed, and then you can actually move the toe. No, and it's not particularly my best. I just wanted to get Trigger Dark so that I can do some photos with him fighting Tiga. But yeah, trying to get Trigger Dark all posed up and all that stuff. But I also got this guy mainly because I like to draw, and I'm trying to get better with Ultraman designs and all that. And I got Trigger Dark for a little bit more rambunctious designs. But anyway, that's about it for paint apps and when I think about the articulation. Now let's go on to accessories. And these are the accessories that Trigger Dark actually comes with, which surprisingly is not a lot, but it is still at least cool for some aspects, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. We got some chopped flying hands, a relaxed hand, posing hands where he's going, some chopping hands, and hands to actually grip circle arms. Which I'm excited that they got this, but I just wished it came with either Tiga multi-type or with Glitter Eternity, which I need to get that one. I'm not sure if I will or not, but yeah. Some actual silver hands for Trigger for his circle arms, and a red color timer. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Now I'll get circle arms into a trigger hand, and then show you how it looks with Ultraman Trigger. And here is Trigger multi-type with circle arms. And actually, the sword does look incredible with and without Trigger. But yeah, and this sword is usually, hang on, focus. Yeah, a little bit closer review of the sword. It actually has some nice panel lines and a nice violet shade to the blade, and yeah, the circle, and then yeah, like I said, circle arms. Now with the hand, you might want to be careful because it is hard plastic. The hand is, and trying to fit this on the first time is going to be such a hassle, either with Trigger's hands or Trigger Dark's hands. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, yours to size comparisons and final thoughts. And here's Trigger Dark next to Trigger Multi-Type. Now, both stand around the same height and they do look similar as per Dark and Light versions of the same Ultraman usually go. And yeah, I mean, so I prefer Trigger Multi-Type over Trigger Dark, but if you want to get him, you want to get him. If you don't, you don't. You don't have to do it. And if you do, you get a pretty cool circle arms for Trigger to hold on to. Now, as usual, gotta bring in SH Monster Arts. And here he is standing next to Godzilla 1989. Or no, yeah, 1989. Where Godzilla is actually around the same height as this Ultraman. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do some stop motion with just these guys, you can. If you don't, you don't. It's up to you. Him standing next to Iron Man, which Iron Man is taller. And just for final things, just him standing next to Decade. But yeah. But yeah, my final thoughts. Do I think that this deserved to be a PX exclusive? No. But is it cool that we have gotten it? Yes. But personally, I think that they could have used a little bit more time with articulation and just figuring out the kinks. But overall, this still looks like a good figure. It is a matte figure, but looks great next to Trigger Multi-Type. Sorry that this review is a little bit short, but not really much thoughts on this guy. Anyway, this is Chris from Lighting. Richard for the Lighting. To protect you guys, see you around.